Imagine a typical afternoon in 2024. Teenagers are scattered in their rooms, eyes glued to glowing screens. One scrolls through TikTok, another texts friends, another checks their Instagram likes. That's exactly what Jonathan Haidt argues in The Anxious Generation, how the great rewiring of childhood is causing an epidemic of mental illness, released in 2024. He's not pointing fingers at parents, rather, he's diagnosing how modern tech and overprotective parenting inadvertently created a public health emergency among youth. In this video, we'll break down Haidt's core insights, from the great rewiring to the loss of free play, and practical steps to reverse the damage. Welcome to 10-Minute Minds. Here are life-changing ideas, explained in just 10 minutes. Jonathan Haidt is a social psychologist at NYU's Stern School of Business, known for sharp insights on liberty, morality, and well-being. With The Anxious Generation, he turned his attention to a crisis he noticed around 2010, a sharp global spike in teen depression, anxiety, self-harm, and even suicide, especially among girls. Haidt frames this cultural shift as the great rewiring of childhood, a transition from a free, play-based upbringing to a phone-based, hyper-protected one. Let's unpack what that means. Haidt opens with the story of Mia, a 15-year-old who spends hours curating her online profile. She's constantly worried about how she looks, what people think, and whether she'll get enough likes. Around 2010, smartphones with front-facing cameras and social media apps became ubiquitous. At the same time, adolescent mental health problems suddenly spiked. Depression and anxiety diagnoses nearly doubled, suicide rates surged, and self-harm incidents increased dramatically. The statistics are sobering. In the US, emergency room visits for self-harm among girls aged 10 to 14 increased by nearly 200% from 2010 to 2020. This isn't just an American problem. Studies in the UK, Canada, and Australia reveal similar spikes in youth mental health issues, all correlating with the rise of smartphones and social media. Next, Haidt explores how childhood changed. For decades, increasing safetyism, fear of kids getting bruised, going unsupervised, led adults to shield children from risk. Meanwhile, schools slashed recess, and urban design discouraged independent outdoor play. But Haidt argues childhood isn't fragile, it's anti-fragile. Kids need manageable challenges and free play to develop resilience, autonomy, and social skills. When those are removed, they become more vulnerable to anxiety. Haidt paints a picture of childhood before smartphones. Kids played outside, made up games, and solved problems together. Now childhood happens indoors, on screens. He shares the example of a school where recess is silent because every kid is staring at their phone. We've traded physical play and face-to-face friendships for likes, follows, and endless scrolling. Is it any wonder our kids feel disconnected? Social media can connect, but it can also isolate. Take the case of Emma, who feels popular online but lonely in real life. She's bullied through group chats, excluded from Instagram stories, and pressured to look perfect. A 2023 Pew Research study found 95% of teens use social media, and 1/3 say they feel overwhelmed by drama online. Girls are especially vulnerable. The book cites data showing that girls who spend 3+ hours a day on social media are twice as likely to report symptoms of depression. Social media magnifies what's hardest about being a teenager: the need to belong, the fear of missing out, and the pain of exclusion. Haidt explains that smartphones hijack our attention and reward systems. The constant notifications release dopamine, a chemical that makes us feel good, but also creates addiction. Kids check their phones over 100 times a day on average, breaking focus and sleep. Sleep deprivation is a huge issue. The American Academy of Pediatrics reports that teens who use screens before bed are twice as likely to get insufficient sleep. It's not just what kids are doing online, it's what they're missing offline: sleep, concentration, and real-world experiences. Haidt reminisces about his own childhood, when kids roamed neighborhoods, learned from mistakes, and built resilience. Now, many kids rarely play outside or make decisions without adult supervision. One survey cited in the book found that only 13% of kids walk to school alone, compared to 70% a generation ago. We wanted to protect our kids, but by keeping them inside and online, we may have made them more vulnerable. But it's not just mental health, it's a deprivation of human experience. Haidt notes that social media erodes embodiment. The subtle timing, cues, silence, rituals, connection with nature that give life depth, belonging, and awe. Without this, kids face not only psychological, but spiritual emptiness. What can we do? 1. Delay smartphones and social media. Haidt recommends waiting until age 16 for smartphones or social media. Some schools and parent groups have started wait until 8th pledges, supporting each other to delay phone use. In one Texas community, parents signed a group pledge, and phone use among middle schoolers dropped dramatically. 2. Encourage free play. Communities are creating play streets, closing roads for kids to play freely. Schools are bringing back unstructured recess. A town in the UK reopened parks for supervised but unscheduled play, and local anxiety rates dropped. 3. Reform schools. Some schools now require students to keep phones in lockers during the day. One California school saw a sharp rise in face-to-face conversations and a drop in bullying after enforcing phone-free classrooms. 4. Empower parents and communities. Parents are forming local support groups, sharing strategies and setting boundaries together. Change is hard, but when communities work together, it's possible to give kids a childhood that's both connected and healthy. These shifts require collective action, not just at home, but by schools, policymakers, and tech companies. Haidt even supports initiatives like the Wait Until 8th Pledge and stricter age-based regulation. Haidt ends with a message of hope. We can't turn back time, but we can rethink how technology fits into childhood. He calls on parents, teachers, and leaders to prioritize mental health, real-world connection, and independence. The anxious generation doesn't have to stay anxious. By understanding the problem and acting together, we can build a better future. Thanks for watching this summary of The Anxious Generation by Jonathan Haidt. If you found this summary insightful, subscribe to 10-Minute Minds for more of the world's most impactful books explained in 10 minutes. Comment below, should we tackle the anxious generation next or another book first? Thanks for watching and see you in the next one.